Hello, and welcome to the Alchemical Serenity Pagan podcast, where we walk a path of spirituality connected to the earth and all energies, better known as animism, where everything has a conscious and we have the ability to tune into and work with that conscious energy. My name is Carolyn, and I have been walking this path for about 40 plus years, and I share my thoughts on this experience of being human with you because one small thing that I say, or maybe a comment left by a listener, can change your path for the better. There is no religion here, no dogma, no thou shalt not, and each of us is on our own path, and however you have come here, you are most welcome. For the last 3 years, I have covered the Wheel of the Year and other subject matters, but this year I'm looking into spiritual wellness. And if you haven't listened to last month's podcast, then please do. There might be something in there that suits you better at a different time of the year. If you are new here, then welcome. Come in, grab a cup of your favourite brew and chill out, or maybe you are listening in whilst you're taking a walk in nature or doing the cleaning. Wherever and whatever you are doing, thank you for being here. And don't forget to give my podcast a like, perhaps subscribe if you find my information interesting, and also let me know in the comments where you are from and if you have a spiritual practice. It's wonderful to hear what you do on your path of wellness. So as I'm recording this podcast, if I go a bit croaky anyway through this, I have had a bit of a sniffle. I'm not quite sure whether it's been a cold or whether it's just a simple fact that I have my head buried in hay nets daily feeding my horses. However, I do suffer with asthma, and it always seems to happen that every time I start recording a podcast, the more I'm breathing in, the more crap seems to come off my chest, as I am sure anyone who is listening in who is an asthma sufferer will actually be raising their hands going, yay, I know that feeling too well. So here we are, February, on its way, nearly there. And the path into February of wellness is threefold because firstly we have Imbolc, which is on the Wheel of the Year. But then there's also Brighid, the ancient goddess celebrated at Imbolc. Then there is February and things such as Valentine's Day, if you like to connect to that energy. And we can add in different rituals, moon phases, etc. And of course, you don't have to be involved with any of it, or maybe some of it that fits into your path and timeline. So let's go and have a look and see what we can get up to in February. In February, we start to see how the return of the light affects the plants. The tops of spring bulbs can be found emerging. Catkins are appearing on the hazel trees, and the birds are a little bit more vocal. And if you were here last month, you will know I have horses and they live out. They're retired in a field enjoying their best lives. It's been really wonderful just to watch the sun setting again. There we go. Here's my cough. That little bit later and at a different point in the sky over the last month. Hurrah. So February wellness, what is it that we can do to walk our spiritual and sacred path this time of the year? February is the quiet heartbeat between winter's stillness and spring's awakening. It invites us to slow down again and just listen inward and tend to the sacred garden within. Now, while the world celebrates love this month, we can also honour a deeper love, the one that connects us to ourselves, to others, and to the divine flow of life. Even in the grey days, light is a gift, and each sunrise is a reminder that renewal is always possible. So you could begin your mornings by facing the light, whether it's the sun, a candle flame, or simply the awareness of your own breath, and silently offer gratitude for another day to grow. February is Heart Health Month, but the heart is more than a muscle. It's the seat of compassion, intuition, and truth. Nourish it with wholesome foods. Yes, of course we should always do that, but also with loving thoughts, forgiveness and acts of kindness. Let your heart be both your compass and your sanctuary. In a world that rushes, stillness is a spiritual act. So take a few moments each day just to sit in silence. Close your eyes and simply be. Imagine roots growing from your body into the earth, grounding you in peace. This is where clarity and calm are born. Choose meals that feel like blessings to your body, warm soups, herbal infusions, and spices that awaken your senses. And as you prepare and eat, do so with intention, offering that silent thanks for the hands, soil, and sun that made your nourishment possible. This month, practice self-love, not as indulgence, but as devotion. Light a candle for yourself, write affirmations that honour your worth, or create a small altar with objects that inspire you. Remember, the way you care for yourself teaches the world how to care for you. Now you can follow this daily as I've listed it if you want to, or just choose the rituals that resonate most. You don't have to do them every day, you don't have to take part at all, but they were just some ideas for different things if you can fit them in. And you can repeat any ritual that feels especially nourishing to you. If it's something that you think, I really enjoyed that, then do it again. You know, there's no dogma to how you do this. It's like we've said before, it's your path. You find anything on there that works with you. As I mentioned earlier, we also have on the 1st of February Imbolc. This is not Candlemas. Candlemas is the 2nd of February, which is a religious ritual day for Christians. Imbolc is a old pagan festival for the return of the light. Now, I have done and dusted Imbolc, and I will list the different ones that I've done on Imbolc in the description box below, so you can go and listen to them. I'm not going to repeat myself. But what I do have is welcoming the light with some spiritual rituals. So again, if you'd like to do some different things for Imbolc, and again, you may not, but sometimes, we need to do something. We need to feel rooted in a pagan tradition, and Imbolc marks the midpoint between the solstice and the spring equinox. And it is a time of renewal, it's a time of hope and that gentle awakening, and it's honouring the goddess Brighid, who is the patron of poetry, healing, the hearth, smiths, and parents, midwives. And it's that sacred turning of the wheel, inviting us to cleanse, bless, and prepare both our homes and our spirituality and ourselves. And basically, we are moving towards the brighter days ahead. Imbolc is more than a seasonal marker, it's a spiritual threshold. So the days are growing longer, the sun's warmth is returning, and seeds, both literal and metaphorically, begin to stir beneath the soil. And it's a time to release the heaviness of winter, invite inspiration and creativity, honour the cycles of nature and our own inner growth, and start to feel as if we're moving forward again after the stillness of winter. So if you like some rituals, one of them will be a candle lighting ceremony. So light a white or pale yellow candles at dusk to symbolise the returning sun. As each flame flickers to life, focus on intentions you wish to nurture in the coming months. You might whisper affirmations or simply just sit in quiet meditation, letting the light fill your space and your heart. You could weave a Brighid's cross with rushes, straw, or even paper. Traditionally, they were hung above the doorways, and it's a charm for protection and blessings throughout the year. And as you weave, think of the qualities you wish to invite: peace, health, creativity, and infuse them into your creation. Perhaps a purification ritual where you could sweep your home physically and energetically, burn cleansing herbs like rosemary or sage, sprinkle salt water in corners to banish stagnant energy. This ritual mirrors the clearing out of old growth in nature and making space for new life. There's also the milk and honey offering. Imbolc's name is thought to derive from in the belly. It's kind of a nod to livestock's early lactation. There's different viewpoints on what it really means. To be perfectly honest, I don't care. It makes no odds what it is really, as long as you are following a path or you're happy with what you are doing with this time of the year. So you could offer milk, cream or honey to the earth, a tree, or to your altar as a gesture of gratitude for nature's abundance and the promise of spring. You could also do a seed blessing. Hold seeds in your hands and visualise them sprouting strong and healthily. These can be for your garden or just symbolic seeds representing personal goals. Place them on your altar until planting time and let them absorb your intentions. And then to close your celebrations, if you've done any of those or none at all, or just lit a candle, end your Imbolc observation with a moment of stillness. Step outside, breathe in the crisp air and listen for the subtle signs of change. A bird's song, a bud on a branch, and the scent of the thawing earth. These are nature's quiet promises that brighter days are on their way. Imbolc reminds us that even in the coldest season, life is quietly preparing to bloom. And by honouring this festival with mindful rituals, we can align ourselves with the rhythms of the earth and the eternal dance of light and dark. On the 1st of February, we also have a full moon, just to add to all the energies that are happening for Imbolc. Now, the February's full moon is often called the snow moon or quickening moon, obviously for the reasons of there would normally be snow on the ground in the northern hemisphere, depending on where you're living. We used to have lots of snow when I was growing up at this time of the year, because I lived in the northern part of England, and now I think we're just rain, which is, I don't know which I prefer actually. However, the quickening moon also is there because it's talking about how winter is speeding up and we're moving towards spring. So the moon graces the sky during the heart of winter, and its name comes from, like I've said, the heavy snowfall that is common, and it carries that deep spiritual symbolism of rest, reflection and quiet transformation. Now, whilst nature lies dormant under a blanket of snow, the snow moon invites us to slow down again, release what no longer serves us, and prepare for growth that spring will bring. It's a time to nurture your inner world, strengthen your intentions, and reconnect with your sense of purpose. Spiritual meanings of the snow moon is gentle yet powerful, and it encourages letting go of emotional clutter and stagnant energy. It asks for clarity in your goals before the busy months ahead, inner healing through stillness and self-compassion. And think of it as a cosmic pause, a moment to just breathe, reset and realign. This is the last moon before we start to pick up the energy of spring. So if you like to do a few rituals for the full moon, you could do a moonlight cleansing ritual with jewellery, crystals, any meaningful objects on a windowsill or outside in the moonlight, and let them bathe in some of that lunar energy. You could do a snow or water blessing. If you have fresh snow, collect a small amount in a bowl, or even just use purified water. Hold your hands over it, speaking your intention for renewal, and let the snow melt naturally, symbolising the gentle release of all your old patterns. You could do a candle meditation for inner peace. So light a white or silver candle and sit quietly, focusing on the flame, and imagine it melting away stress, fear and doubt. When you feel lighter, write down one thing you're ready to release and safely burn the paper in a fireproof dish. Perhaps some gratitude journaling. Under the moonlight, write down 5 things you're grateful for. Gratitude shifts your energy and makes space for new blessings to flow in. If you want to work with the snow moon, then wear soft, calming colours like white, silver or pale blue. Spend some time in nature, even if it's just a short walk under the moon. Keep your ritual simple. The snow moon's magic lies in quiet intention. And a final little thought on the snow moon is a reminder that even in the stillness of winter, transformation is happening beneath the surface. And by honouring this lunar phase with mindful rituals, you align yourself with the natural rhythm of release and renewal, ready to bloom when spring arrives. Now, on the 24th of February, we have the new moon, which, of course, this is your fresh start for mind, heart and spirit. February's new moon is a cosmic invitation to pause, reset and plant seeds for your month ahead. Now, unlike the full moon's bright outward energy, the new moon is a quiet, introspective phase, a time to dream, plan and align with your deepest intentions. This month's lunar energy carries a sense of renewal and gentle determination. It's perfect for letting go of lingering doubts from the start of the year and stepping into a more focused, heart-led path. Why February's new moon feels special? Well, mid-winter magic. And in the Northern Hemisphere, February sits between that deep rest of winter, as I've already said, and the first whisperings of spring. So the new moon here will feel like a bridge between stillness and growth. It brings along the energy of emotional clarity, and it supports self-reflection, making it easier to hear your inner voice. You could have moments of manifestation, and with the year still feeling fresh, your intentions can gain powerful traction as they start to take place. So use the new moon, if you like, to set some intentions, light a candle again and sit somewhere quiet and write down 3 to 5 intentions for the month ahead, focusing on how you want to feel rather than just what you want to achieve. Read them aloud, imagining each one already unfolding. You could also do a water creation, like fill a glass with fresh water, place it on a windowsill overnight during the new moon to infuse it with fresh lunar energy. Then use that in tea or perhaps on your houseplants or as a cleansing part of your bath to carry your intentions forward. You could, again, charge your crystals in the new moonlight as well. That's another one to do. And also do a fire ritual to write down habits, fears or thoughts that you're ready to release, and then just safely burn the paper. Perhaps the best place to go is outside if you can. And set yourself a February's new moon affirmation of I welcome new beginnings with an open heart, and I trust the seeds I plant today will grow in perfect time. So those are my thoughts on February. There's lots more going on, and to be fair, I think if I gave you any more or we discussed any more on the podcast, we'd not only be here till at least June. It would just be too much and it becomes overwhelming, doesn't it? You know, I've said it before, it's great when people like me come along with the podcast and go, oh great, look what you can do, this is it, you can go and light a candle and bathing outside naked, dancing around under the moonlight and taking all the energy. But let's be fair, how many times do we actually get to do these things? I don't get to do all of them myself. I have tried some years I do things, some years I don't. And sometimes you really can't fit them all in. So, you know, just pick things, you know, from what I've said, pick things that you think I'd really like to have a go at that this time. And even if it's only one a week, then that's fine. It's just a little ritual. It's a little change in what you're doing and gives you a chance to focus on your spirituality. Now, if you joined me last month, you'll remember I added in the changing scene of my horse's field into the vlog at the end to show the movement through the seasons of death, rebirth, renewal of everything. And I'm going to continue doing that throughout the podcast for this year. For those of you who are new, the field is an old dairy cattle field and it's been unadulterated by humans for most of its life. Therefore, the energies are still very natural and very strong. And I can feel those energies when I walk through it. So coming up now is the field in January, not February, because I'm not very good at time travel. But we did have some snow, so I'll put some of that in. And then we had a lot of rain and a lot of water, and it's been very damp ever since. I'm going to be so grateful when the weather changes. But the next fortnight, it looks like we're getting more rain again. Oh, deep joy. But I'll add some more images in now and some gentle music just to show that it's how still the field is. And I'm really looking forward to as soon as spring starts breaking out, because when it does, I can walk further into the field and I can show you more of as the buds are coming out on the plants and how they are going to develop, whereas at the moment we are still in stillness and in quiet. So I'll let you just have a look at that for a few minutes. So I hope you enjoyed the visit to my field, and that brings me to the end of this month's podcast. So take care of yourself and connect with the energies of the season as much as you can and as much as you like. Keep moving forward, and with much love and peace in your grove. Take care of yourselves, and bye for now.